Welcome back to Footballology. This week I want to give you guys my top 5 quarterback prospects. Wearing my Aaron Rodgers jersey, my Packers hat. But at number 5, I got Brett Hundley. I'm a big fan of his, but at the same time, I'm not a fan of the running quarterback. I think him personality-wise, which is a big thing for me, he's really good, but I just think he always looks down the field to actually run the ball and not to throw the ball. If he goes to the right system, he might have some success. But I just feel like when it comes to run throwing, he's a run first quarterback, and I'm not a fan of that. So I put him at number 5. My quarterback comparisons for him was RG3. RG3 is the same guy. He tends to run first, throw second, but then sometimes he'll throw first and run second. It's all over the place with him. So I felt like that was a fair comparison. At number 4, I have Grayson. Now Garrett Grayson reminds me a lot of Chad Pennington. That's not my quarterback comparisons. But not a great, amazing arm, but a good enough arm to make all the throws that you can ask from an NFL QB. My NFL comparisons was Andy Dalton. And I feel like Garrett Grayson is the same quarterback. You have to surround him with a lot of talent, but at the same time, you have to put him in the right system. And that's the downside to me. I feel like he's a really a system quarterback. If he's not in the right system, he's just going to become another backup quarterback in the league. Also, as well, I am a big fan of his pocket awareness. I feel like he has really good pocket awareness, and he knows where the pocket is collapsing at around him and how to escape and get to the next level. At number 3, I have Sean Mannion. Now, Sean Mannion, to me, is the quarterback I would love to have for my team. He's tall, has the NFL size with a big arm. The downside to the big arm is I feel like it hurts his decision making because it seems like he always goes for the big play and not the smart play. As well, I feel like that his pocket awareness is just okay. It's like average, but it's not amazing. It's not where I would want it to be. And also, when the pocket tends to break down around him, he tends to get away from all his mechanics and everything and start to make poor decisions and just trying to force it into certain places. My NFL comparisons for him was Phillip Rivers, and I feel like that was a fair comparison as well. Rivers has the big arm that can make the throws. The unorthodox shot put pass, I just don't understand it to this day. But I feel like that was a fair comparison. They're the same quarterback. They can make the throws, and they just have the big arm. Let me know what you guys think on that one. And number 2, now, this is where it gets tricky. At number 2, I have Jameis Winston. Now, I know a lot of people have him as number 1, the number 1 overall pick, the number 1 quarterback, the number 1 everything. And I'm going to tell you guys why he's my number 2. There's a lot to play into it for me. First of all, his personality. I'm that personality guy because even if you get into trouble, you're not going to be on the field to help my team. So I'm not a big fan of that to begin with. But when I was watching the film, it's hard to actually find what he does wrong on the field. Like, the guy is everything you want. He's an emotional leader. He's everything. He has the big arm, and it's just he has the big play. I love his accuracy. His accuracy is not amazing, but for a rookie, it's right where it needs to be, and it can only get better at that point. He's really good at the big plays. Now, if I was to pick on anything on him, as I hate that he tries to extend the play a little bit too much. And that just rolls right into my quarterback comparisons, which is Ben Roethlisberger. But Big Ben's been doing it for this long and had so much success, 2 Super Bowl rings under his belt. But I think just that extending of the play just sometimes it scares me. But also, I feel like that he needs to try to protect himself as much as possible to play the next down. Be out there for your team, both, with your off-the-field issues and on-the-field decisions. But other than that, the guy, he is what everyone say he is, He is the number 1 quarterback on a lot of people's board, and he probably will go number 1 overall. It's just the personality things, but it's hard to really break his game apart unless you really wanted to. My comp was Ben Roethlisberger, and I just felt like that was a fair one. They're the same quarterback. I think Winston's a better polished passer almost, if that's possible, but I feel like he's a little bit better of a passer. Anyways, moving on to number 1. And number 1, I do have Marcus Mariota. It goes back to personality for me, and I'm a big fan of the personality guy, and I feel like that what he brings to the table can be really good for a lot of teams. Some teams, and it depends on which direction you want your team to go in. But at the same time, the non-spoken leader sometimes is not what your team needs. You need a guy like Jameis Winston that can get everybody hyped up, get everybody riled up. But I like Mariota, personality-wise. On the field, it gets weird because he has a big arm, but it's not the NFL big arm. Like, it's right where it needs to be. He can make all the throws. I'm not a fan of the running quarterback. I admit to this, and he's a running quarterback, and that sucks because when he runs and you watch him run, he doesn't protect himself very well, and I feel like that's something that he really, really needs to incorporate into his game, or he's going to wind up on the sideline or on IR, and that's not a place you want your franchise quarterback to be. They just got to learn the baseball slide, Get out there, slide, protect yourself. Get out of bounds, protect yourself. Do whatever it takes to help your team win. My NFL comp is it's weird, it's out there, but it's Aaron Rodgers. I feel like they're the same exact quarterback. Mariota, is a more athletic, faster Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion. But I feel like he can make all the throws that Aaron Rodgers can make. Probably not the deep throw like Aaron Rodgers make as well. But I definitely feel like if Mariota gets into the right system with the right coaching staff, and I mean, it has to be right. He can't go to a system where the coaching staff is an average coaching staff. He needs to have a coaching staff that can put him in the right position. And I'm a big fan of his. But other than that, I think when the pressure gets on in the pocket, he does tend to lose his footwork. And that's something that, like I said, he has a coaching staff with him. It can really help him out along the way. But that's all I have for this week, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please comment, hit me up on Twitter, whatever you got to do. Let me know what you think of my top 5. It's out there, but I like it. I really do. And I think it's fair. But anyways, I see you guys next week. Be safe, football fans.